the night shift janitor who never worked alone. So, I used to work the night shift at Crescent Hill High School, just outside Portland. Most people don't even know the school stays open after midnight. But every night, from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., I was the janitor responsible for cleaning the hallways, mopping the floors, and making sure the classrooms were locked before the morning staff arrived. My name is Derek Collins. I was 34 when all of this happened, and I swear on my life that every word of this is real. I'm not telling this story for attention. I'm telling it because I still don't understand what I saw. Or what followed me home later. The first few weeks were normal. Empty classrooms, long silent hallways, and that strange hum the fluorescent lights make when nobody else is around. Most people think working in a school at night is peaceful. It is, until it's not. My shift started to get strange during the second month. I was locked inside one of the second-floor restrooms after midnight when I heard footsteps in the hallway. Not slow, heavy footsteps like a teacher or a guard. These were quick, light. Almost like a kid running. Nobody was supposed to be in the building except me and the security guard, Oscar. I opened the restroom door and looked both ways down the hallway. Empty. Every light flickering just slightly, like the whole building was breathing. I radioed Oscar and asked if he was on the second floor. He answered immediately, "Nope. I'm in the cafeteria." "Why?" I told him I thought I heard someone running. He laughed and said, "You'll hear stuff like that. Old building." I tried to shrug it off. But the next night, the exact same thing happened. Around 12:40 a.m., while I was sweeping near the science wing, I heard those light footsteps again. Only this time, they didn't stop. They ran in circles around me, footsteps echoing from every direction even though I couldn't see anything in the hallway. The moment I stepped backward, the footsteps stopped completely. Not faded. Stopped. Like someone had been standing right in front of me and just froze. I could feel someone there. Watching me, I called Oscar again, and again he insisted he wasn't anywhere near the second floor. The school used to have more guards, but budget cuts left only one. Sometimes I wondered if Oscar even bothered to leave his office. A few nights later, I finally saw something. It was around 1:15 a.m. I was collecting trash bags from the English classrooms. When I walked into room 204, the door was already open, which was strange. I always kept doors closed behind me. I stepped inside, and for a split second, I heard chalk scraping on the board. Slow, shaky writing. I turned on the lights. Nobody was there, but the chalkboard had something written on it. 4 words, "He's still in here." The handwriting looked messy, uneven, like a child wrote it with a trembling hand. I stared at it for a long time before erasing it. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe a teacher wrote it earlier. Maybe I just didn't notice. But something felt off. The air in that classroom felt heavy, thick. Like someone had been breathing hard in the dark a second before I arrived. I didn't tell Oscar that time. I didn't want him to think I was losing my mind. The following week, more things happened. Doors that I locked were found open. Lights flickered in rooms that had no power. I heard tapping on windows on the 3rd floor, even though it was impossible for anyone to reach those windows from the outside. Then one night, everything changed. It was a Thursday. 2:03 a.m. I remember the exact time because my phone vibrated with a notification when it happened. I was cleaning the gym storage room, which is located in the basement. The basement of Crescent Hill High has always felt wrong to me. The air is colder, the lights buzz louder, and the walls seem to echo even when nobody is talking. While I was stacking basketballs on the rack, I heard a whisper behind me, not a voice. A whisper, It said one word, Derek. I froze. My entire body locked up. Nobody should know my name. Nobody should be in the basement. I slowly turned around. The room was empty, but the door behind me, the heavy metal door, began to close on its own. Slowly. Smoothly. Without a sound, it clicked shut, and the lights went out. I pulled out my flashlight, but the beam kept flickering, like the batteries were dying. I backed into the corner and listened. I couldn't hear footsteps, or breathing, or anything human. What I heard instead was a soft thud, like someone hopping once on the floor. Then another hop. Then another. Light, rhythmic, almost playful. Like a child playing a game in the dark. The hopping stopped right in front of me. I aimed my flashlight, and for half a second I saw something standing there. It looked like a kid. Maybe 11 or 12. But his head was slightly tilted, and his arms hung too long at his sides. His eyes reflected the light like an animal's. His face was pale, almost gray, and he wasn't breathing. He took one step toward me. I ran. I slammed into the door, forcing it open, and sprinted down the hallway so fast I almost slipped. I didn't stop until I reached the security office. Oscar looked up from his coffee like I'd interrupted a peaceful nap. I was out of breath, shaking. I told him what I saw. He didn't laugh. He didn't joke. He just stared at me for a long time and said one sentence I'll never forget: whatever you saw down there, it's been here long before any of us. I asked him what he meant. He refused to answer. I quit the job the next day. I didn't even go back to get my last paycheck, but the story doesn't end there. 2 nights later, around 3 a.m., I was in my apartment watching TV when I heard a faint tapping sound. I muted the TV. The tapping continued. Slow. Soft. Coming from my hallway. I walked toward the noise, and as I reached the end of the hallway, the lights went out, and in the darkness, I heard it again, that same whisper, Derek. And then, a soft single hop on the floorboards. I haven't slept peacefully since.